testing, testing, testing. Certified lover boy, certified. Alright, so we're gonna go over the little bits and pieces. I'm gonna show you what I've built up and what I haven't, including how I used some props that I really like. These junk fences here that were part of some kind of like beach set, I don't remember if I bought these or if they were part of a season, but they came with these piers, and I think that both of these, like these piers and those walls, are just fantastic props. I've gotten a lot of use out of these and the little kind of beachside fences here. I'm a big fan of those and all the different ways that you can use these piers, and I have tried to use them as little obviously we can't flatten out the very land that we're on, but I have this nice little walkway over here, and it gives us, I guess it kind of helps section off the camp a bit because of the varying height which we've managed to work with here. But then over here we kind of have like this little guard post. Like if this was a populated settlement, maybe someone would kind of be leaning here watching what is supposed to be the entrance, and usually I like to do something with my entrances, but this is very lackluster. But in my brain, I kind of write it off as, well, this isn't really a public spot anyway, right? This is just a little outcrop on a hill to see what's going on. So, very basic entrance, very basic build. We're going to come in here. Don't know where our first stop should be. I guess the crafting is the most important. Now, I'm going to enter workshop mode here so I can start flying, just to kind of show how I built this. We have this mobile trailer prefab here, but I built off of it with some normal floors here and made this middle section that not only allows us stairs to get up to the second story of the trailer and access the hot tub, but also acts as a really good divider. And let me fly up here to show you what I mean by that. This right here sections off this half of the camp, the front half and the back half. And of course the front half has all the walls and defenses. Then we have this kind of divider here, maybe more of a mental divider since it doesn't go all the way across. But we've got this divider here off of this more open section. And I think that sectioning off this camp and building not only this part, but this little line right here too, which in retrospect I probably could have combined somehow, made it a little bit more cohesive, but you know, we work with what we have. But this, I think, kind of makes the camp work in a way. So here's our punch cards here. We go in here, we got our Tinker workbench and little power armor station. I tried to make it look a little bit snazzy. We've got a chair here, we've got lockers and a toolbox. So when you're dealing with your power armor, it really looks like you've set up a little mechanic spot here to work with, which I really enjoy. I like to build around the crafting stations instead of just having them out. I tried to decorate the wall a little bit. I came to this kind of late in the build, so the walls are a little bit sparse, but you know, they've got some things on them, and that's good enough for me, considering I'm probably gonna break this whole thing apart soon. But here's our butterfly sanctuary with this it's not straightened, but it doesn't matter. I really like this as well. I tend to try and use it as some kind of centerpiece, but I didn't have anywhere good to put it that looked natural, so I just kind of stuck it at the end of this hallway, so at least it wasn't, you know, at least there's something right here. And then going into the mobile trailer home, which is another great prefab. Before we really look at it, I just want to show we have our Mirelurk steamer here, and then on top of the trailer is the hot tub. So in my brain, like the heat coming from this thing is powering the hot tub's water here. You can see the kind of wires going across. And I guess it just happens in the back. The tanks aren't really connected, obviously, but we can just ignore and pretend that's what's going on. I did this in the other camp that I'm going to show you too. I think it's just a funny little feature, because I don't know, it makes it look more natural in a way. We can see where the hot tub is getting the heat from. But we come in here, we have these fans, which is another one of my favorite props to use, one of my favorite non-prefabs, because decorating a ceiling is kind of hard, but if you just stick some fans on it, I think it looks fine. And then we have everything in here kind of bundled up nice and tight. We've got cooking, which we also have outside, but I figured I would put it in here too, just because we had the space. I wish I could stick it more against the wall, but we work with what we have. And I had it like right here originally, and it was a bitch getting it against the wall, but even all the way pushed up against the wall, you still couldn't access it. It didn't let you, which felt kind of bad because I really liked it right there, and I just got this empty space. But it's fine. We'll put it in front of the fucking Mirelurk steamer. It looks normal enough. Ammo box, scrap box, all that. We have our crafting in here. I try to do something with the crafting tables usually, but other than putting a lamp right here and right here, I didn't have a lot to do. I tried to make sure that the walls were decorated as well, because otherwise I think the place looks pretty boring. And then we have our coffee machine, cookie jar, beehive. If I had more to put right here, like maybe I would put my company tea machine here if I had one. This would be a great spot for a vintage water cooler, but I simply don't have those. But the idea was to put all of my resource gathering things in one spot, other than stuff that won't fit in here, like the Collectron and the Butterfly Sanctuary. I kind of sacrificed a lot of space to put this steamer down, but I think it just looks too good in here, and without the steamer hot tub combo, what am I doing, you know? That's one of my only original ideas. I gotta keep it going. Other than that, we've decorated it a little bit. Got a sloth here, light, nothing else really going on here. We'll move on through. We'll do the shop last because I'm pretty proud of it, but we have our water station, boiling water purifier, surrounded by plant life to kind of show that water is, I guess, being moved through the system here. This soil is habitable, if that's the right word. And then we use one of those piers here as kind of like a little covering, which is pretty cool because these are supposed to be, you know, sunk into the ground, obviously, but because you can stand them up, they're really versatile camp objects, and I really enjoy using them. Then we have statue, and then, I mean, like, Vault Boy doesn't need to be here. I could scrap him if I wanted to for a little bit more space, but whatever. We have a guard post, and then I saw this watch post and I immediately wanted to get it from the Atom shop. I started scraping together the last few challenges that I could do to give myself atoms. I'm only level 171, which isn't low by any means, but I still have a few things that I haven't done, like you know, mod chest armor 76 times. I did a whole bunch of those just to be able to afford this place, and I put it down and I was so fucking immediately disappointed. Like, let me get in here with the normal camera. Let's step out of workshop mode for a second. So kind of small just in general. Small stairs, unimpressive walkway up. And you get in here, you don't even have a fucking window. You have this. This doesn't count. And I can't put all of the defensive little fence objects are way too small to even put railings here. So we have this rickety ass way up, and then we get in here, and it's not a watch post. It's not a watch post because there are no fucking windows. Why is this called and sold as a watch post? Why doesn't the fucking Atomic Shop preview does not show you the insides of this thing? Like, okay, you could find some kind of use for it, I'm sure, but I put it down and I didn't even bother fucking decorating the inside of it because, come on, man. I put a flag on the outside and that's all I got. Why it's not a watch post? I'm gonna stop talking about it because if I don't, I'm gonna keep talking about it. But I put this here just for a little bit of light and to kind of make the area look a little bit more lived in. No easy spot for like a vault door shelter entrance, but I did put the utility room right here, which I haven't decorated the inside of, so we're not even gonna bother looking. But just some blackberries that are these natural? Yeah, I think these are natural. I didn't plant these. Fuck, no, I did plant these. Alright. Well, scratch that. There are like no natural resources up here. We got our power going around. And then this is just a nice little spot. You can play this thing. And I put it here specifically because the view that it gives you while you're playing it is nice. You can kind of look down there, see what's going on down the river. Not really see, but it's a nice vista while you're playing if you want to get that little AP buff. And very quickly, we're going to run down here. Oh shit, someone died. Damn, bro. Well, I was going to talk about how usually 2 scavenger guys spawn down here. So it's nice to have a little bit of NPCs around, but someone fucking killed this one. At least you're still alive. Do you have anything to say to me?
I haven't hit rock bottom yet.
Uh, Alright. Well, usually, after I'm done talking to these guys, I just kill them for experience anyways. So, he wanted to talk about rock bottom. There he goes. Hitting rock bottom. I'm, I'm a responder, I swear. I'm a good guy. I was Raiders on Xbox, but on PC, I'm Foundation. You gotta believe me. I'm a good guy this time. Alright. I kind of feel bad about that. But, you know, I'm, I'm 99 right now. They're not worth a lot of experience, but they're worth a little bit, so I don't feel bad about that. We have our Collectron right here, and then we'll check out the actual tower itself and then the shop. I both really, really like the tower and dislike it because the inside is so small. You'll put a bed in here and it takes up like 45% of the space you have. This is the only example of like actual, I guess, fine-tuned mechanics. I did the pressure plate thing to decorate a shelf because Bethesda doesn't want us to decorate them normally for some reason. But yeah, I don't know. I did this and was like, cool, I have shit on my shelf, and then realized that I spent so much time doing it that I didn't want to do it again. So that's all we got. And then up here, this is kind of like I guess your temporary sleeping quarters while you're visiting this place. I'm assuming the Raider Punk will take the top bunk and the visitor just has to deal with the bottom one. But we got our terminal here, and then we've set up Raider Punk with his little radio. It just seems like a very fitting spot for him up here, to the point where I'm almost going to feel bad when I scrap all of this. But, you know, I'll probably just move them into my next one anyways. He's probably one of my favorite allies, other than the ones that give you XP boosts. And then finally, the spot that I put the most work into. This place takes up so much of my budget alone. I'm a big fan of little junk items and trinkets, and Bethesda does not give us enough to work with. But from the limited selection, I have managed to make a shop that does seem very populated. We've got the robot worky here because he's my favorite type of vendor. And then I really like this TK music box. I put it in the shop because I think it gives it a good atmosphere. And then once you're trying to buy stuff from this guy, you get to listen to the nice little music box. If you got your radio on, it's probably annoying because then the songs will clash. But you know, people can deal with that if they come up, or just turn the box off. But yeah, let me go into float mode here. Got a bunch of little random things. Like this shit's backwards, but let me fix this real quick before I scrap every single thing you're seeing on screen. There we go. Got Begaball, goldfish, a few little things here. I had an idea to try and make like a miniature wargaming table with the robots and the alien miniatures, but I haven't gotten around to it, and I kind of had that idea too late, so I'll probably put it in my next build. This display clips into the wall a little bit, but we just ignore that. And then back here we have a second vendor. No need to power it, but just in case there are multiple people visiting and someone's right here, the other person can just walk to the back. And then there's also a dead alien back here. There's no real meaning to this, but I got this drop from the alien event that just stopped going on. Now we're doing Mothman, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I have nowhere to fucking put this, so I just stuck it in the back of the shop behind these dividers. Like maybe it's just a little Easter egg, and this bug zapper is for all the bugs that get attracted to the corpse of the extraterrestrial. They should hire me. I can do environmental storytelling, right? Come on. I'm gonna say goodbye to this place and do one more final look away. It's not a bad camp. I really like it. I had a lot of good ideas here, which I'm probably gonna steal in my next build. Like I really enjoy how this piece here was built into the side of the trailer. I might just blueprint this whole thing, to be honest. I really enjoy how it's made. But, yeah, other than the outsides, and I guess the useless fucking watch post, quote unquote, it's not a bad build. I'm pretty happy with it. If I had more budget, I'd have a better entrance. But other than that, yeah. And what was this? Mountain Watch. That's good old Mountain Watch right here. If you have any thoughts about this build, please leave them below, or ideas. I am going to get rid of this camp, but I still am really attached to the idea of building shit on the very edge of hills and mountains and whatnot. Maybe if you've built up here or built on top of a kind of mountainous region before with really unstable terrain, you can give me some tips. But now I'm going to load up our next camp, Lakeslop. Now, in the Cranberry Bog, we have Lakeslop, supposed to be slop. The first thing in terms of location, we are also next to a workshop, abandoned bog town, which I think is probably better than the other one. And we are kind of relatively close to just shit that goes on in the Cranberry Bog. It's a lot easier for me to do, cop a squatter, or even come up here to do a bomb removal or what have you. That and I guess the Scorch Beast Queen is easy enough to get to from here. But not a bad location. In terms of like directly right here, obviously we have the occasional cranberries, which are nice for the XP food. I always come over here and I try to gather wood from all these logs. I'm not going to do it now because I'm recording, but it is just nice to be able to pick up so many wood scraps very easily every time you log in. Also, there are beavers. So I guess if you need to, kill one, take a picture of one, or do some kind of critter-related challenge, it's very nice to just spawn into my home, run over here, and maybe whack one, or take a photo of one. Whatever the daily calls for, I abide by the rules of Todd. And then over here we have a much better looking entrance. I think this is a lot more presentable. It's nothing too fancy or, presumptuous, but I think that I've simply done more here. And let me loot this real quick. And I tried to... this build is generally just a lot more intricate. It's very connected. This one I may even keep. I don't know if I'm done with this place yet. I might just try and update it. But I've built it into the Ranger Tower itself to try and make it look like it's all part of the same construction. Unfortunately, that is a little hard, because obviously there are railings around the top of the Firewatch Tower, which make it difficult to have a direct connection. But at the very least, at the bottom here, it looks enough like it's supposed to be part of the same building. It was kind of tough building around it, but we managed to make it work. And then around the back here, I'm probably not going to come back out here, so I want to just show this real quick. We have like a backdoor entrance. We can see the boat, which is really hard to put down in a place that looks good, but also a very fun prop to have. I think it's the kind of wow factor to just have that at the end. And then we have must wash hands, no photography, just a funny little ha-ha for anyone who comes over here. And because I didn't have one of these put at the Mountain Watch either, but we don't have a toilet anywhere in here, so we'll just have this outhouse, and maybe that funnels down into the river or something. Oh, and I guess while I'm outside, I pretty much never get attacked here, which is pretty cool, because this is in the middle of the fucking Cranberry Bog, which is the most dangerous place in Appalachia, more or less. I also just really like the looks of this place. It's connected by this bridge right here. This and the pier that I built around back are the only ways to get here. Unfortunately, this bridge collapsed. I think this build would look a lot cooler if this was, I guess, functional, but I don't have the means to repair it or build one myself. So we just deal with that. We have two ways in, and I don't know, maybe from a lore perspective, maybe it's a little safer just having this one main entrance. But other than that, it's surrounded by water. Just a very, very nice location. It doesn't necessarily have the views of Mountain Watch, but shit, it's got, like, we have a moat. We have a fucking moat here. That's awesome. It's a very rectangular ass place. I've never even looked at Lakeslop from the top like this. Rectangle. Alright, let's get in here. So the very first thing that you see, I've made it very obvious to figure out where the shop is. And this one just looks nice. I really like how I've set this up. We have our snacks and free honey for visitors right here. Easy stash access. Our music box as always. I need to update these displays, but those are supposed to have guns on them in the back, so the shelf looks a little bit more populated than normal. But, you know, we got our reading material. We have some shit here. I wanted this place to look like it was actually selling junk, and I think that I did a good job. And then this little section right here, built into the middle, is directly below our crafting stations. Now, this is the one part of the build that... The fuck was that? Is that on us? Former raider. Dude, what are you doing out here? Alright. So, hello, there's another visitor. Also, I just wanted to say that there is a deposit right here, but I didn't want to build on this very kind of tiny point of the island. I needed the wider section over here to properly build. So it's kind of a shame that it's stuck over here on this side. I think maybe another build you could do with this area is trying to build like over the road and get, you know, kind of both halves. That might look really cool, but again, it's very much a shame that this bridge is for some reason destroyed. Like just take the I don't give a fuck about the car breaking the bridge. It doesn't look cool. Just take it out and make the bridge normal, and this spot becomes like 900 times better to build in, because it doesn't look like you're working with a damaged bridge and just haven't gotten around to fixing it.
Survive?
Usually NPCs don't spawn here. I'm kind of surprised that Mr. Raider is taking a gander at a Lakeslop over here. Alright, back to it after that distraction. We have a few little areas. We're going to get into that one and go up to the tower. But just to show off the crafting area, I wanted to do more with this place, but I simply couldn't. The shit just doesn't fit like I wanted it to, and I didn't have the budget to properly decorate the walls. So we just kind of, you know, we just kind of live with it. The upstairs is definitely a much more functional place than anything. And then in here, I was gonna have like, oh, this is my private abode, but I also couldn't really decorate this, so I've just got a basic ass bed and then a cabinet. That's my house right there. Is this little piece of this whole thing. And of course, we have roof access. I put Beckett up here because I just needed to do his quests, but I pretend he isn't here because in a final build of this place, I probably would not keep him here. We have some nice little chairs if you want to sit up here. And then we have stairs going down and over here if you want to do the hot tub. Like I said, it's very connected. Definitely much more connected than Mountainwatch. And then I've created some makeshift stairs with the stash boxes to come down. If you ever, I guess, wanted to have access to this little spot here. And we're gonna go back down. So the kind of the leading theory with Lakeslop is that I wanted to make a rest stop. This is a place where travelers, you know, stop on the road. They might pick up some food, have a nice little sit down in our area here, our seating area. You know, maybe they need to stay the night. We have almost like a barracks. Here's our steamer with the hot tub on top, like I said. A pseudo barracks. You know, we got cheap prices over here. 20 caps a night, and you get to sleep somewhere safe and carry on in the morning with your travels. I assume that, you know, merchants would probably very much fancy this place, come through, do some business, maybe rest to keep going in the morning. That was the original idea behind this place. And then we'll come up to the Firewatch Tower. This place is not built in at all because Bethesda is still getting bottlenecked by old gen consoles and won't give us more camp space. If you're still playing on like a PS4 or something, I mean that sucks. But you know, if we have to stop supporting old consoles in order to give us greedy PC and new generation console players a little bit more budget, that's fine. It's been long enough. We shouldn't balance this game around completely outdated hardware. I mean, we're not. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna stop talking about that. I just wish that we had more camp space, and we should have more camp space. That is all I think about that. And the final section, it's not really a section, but we just got the boat out here. Looks really cool. Got a trampoline on it. Like I said, it's a really good prop. You have the boat, or the bulwark, I should say. You have this for the wow factor. You have this for people who are just kind of exploring the camp, and they walk outside on the pier and then they're like, "Damn, they got a whole boat up here." But really, there's nothing on the boat because it's such a bitch to build in. Like, it's hard to place already because it sinks into the water so badly. You can't put it directly on top of the water. Like, it just doesn't. It doesn't work. It doesn't work like it should. But you know that's fine. That's a very janky building system in the first place. All I've done with the boat is put a steering wheel in it and a trampoline up top. But other than that, it's really hard to build properly on this thing. At least if you want to build it to look like something that can actually sail, which is what I did here. Like, I don't know where this river goes. I think that's actually blocked down there by a beaver dam. But the idea was that at this rest stop, at this merchant stop, we would have like a trade ship to sail down the way to whatever the fuck is down there, maybe another settlement or something. I think this would probably be really cool if you were part of a team and you wanted to like I don't know, have a few settlements going down the river in the same line. And then, you know, the person up here could have a boat at their camp, but then down here would be a stop and down there would be a stop. That would be pretty sick. That would be cool. But unfortunately, Lakeslop, while it's still standing here before I destroy it, at least, is not part of a chain of camps. It is simply what it is. But I like it. Now, of course, I would probably do more with this place if I had more budget. There are some pieces that are too sparse for my liking. It's very difficult to build something that looks like an actual settlement and not just a camp. I know it's called the camp system, but I mean, come on. I think that I did very good setting out what I wanted to do with the limited options and space that we have, but it could very much be more. I would love to have this rooftop part look more like a space you're actually supposed to visit. Oh, why did he get naked before disappearing? Beckett is a freak. Anyways, I would love for this rooftop spot to just be more. I would love for my room to look like someone lives in it. I would love for the Firewatch Tower to be any kind of furnished beyond the rug. But you know, we do what we do and we do what we can. And I think that Lake Slop is probably one of my favorite builds I've ever made. And just for a little bit of background, I actually, before I continue with that, I wanna get a nice photo mode going so we can look at my character. There we go. He's beautiful. So I played this game on Xbox and I got to like level 200 something before I stopped. And I only stopped because I realized that I was playing on Xbox. I had sunk so much time into a game on a character for a console. And there's nothing wrong with playing console, but over time I became more and more of like a proper PC player, and it just felt silly. Like I'm not gonna boot up my Xbox just to play some fucking Fallout 76. Like I'm really attached to my characters and all my cool stuff that I had, but I'm not that attached. But I couldn't bring myself to start over. So it took like a few good years, but here I am. I've been playing for maybe a month. I'm already level 171. Granted, you should understand that I'm on break from college right now. I actually go back in tomorrow, but I've spent almost my entire time, other than editing videos, fucking grinding out Fallout 76 just to try and get back to where I was starting over in an MMO is really, really hard. But, you know, here I am. I'm playing through the season, and I'm fine. I'm back into camp building, and this is literally what made me get the game in the first place. Like, back when this came out, there's a whole lot of things. There was musty, funky, fake power armor helmets. There was a whole range of issues and bugs. There was no NPCs, obviously. Uh, I was disappointed. I didn't really want to play it. But by Jove, I saw that you could build a fucking house, and I was like, ah, those motherfuckers. Bethesda, you done got me again. Todd, you son of a bitch, you're getting some more of my money. And I guess compared to most MMOs, the housing system and the prices and just the sheer number of things that you can build in your house. Even though I am kind of disappointed in all the unnecessary restrictions with the building system, I think it's probably a lot better than a lot of the housing that I've seen in other MMOs. Like, I've played Final Fantasy, I've played Star Wars, I've played MMOs where your housing options are just, you know, prefab shit that you have to actually pay rent on and kind of fight the housing market over, and it's just such a fucking headache. But Fallout 76, you just find a nice spot. You find an island in the Cranberry Bog. You just put your shit down, and then you build a lake slop, and I like that. Now, granted, I wasn't an OG 76 hater, but I don't know. That convinced me to get the game in the first place. So as much gripes as I have with the camp building system, I still very much enjoy it, and I clearly put a lot of time in it. I'm literally deleting this entire fucking place probably just to build a new camp, build a new house, and it's probably going to be one right here going over the road instead of off to the side of it. So I guess we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, again, this is my first time trying to make this kind of content. Usually my uploads are just like beats that I made after a few hours, like in my bedroom, my amateur beat making, or just random gamer compilations with my friends. I have not sat down and actually recorded a video where I just straight up talk to a person that's supposed to be listening in the future. I haven't done this since I tried Let's Playing every Swords of Sandals game. I think that might have been a year ago and some change. But hopefully this video meant something. Maybe the next video I can record myself actually building one of these, just because it's kind of a fun process. It's a fun process, and I'll just record myself getting very overly frustrated with the camp building system for a few hours or however long it takes. But yeah, I just like this game and I want to be more involved in the community. So if you have any thoughts on a single thing that I've said in this video, leave a comment. Not for the engagement, but just because I genuinely want to like respond and interact with the number of people who are still playing this game, which has very much shot up because of the TV show releasing. Which I guess I'm kind of lumped in too, because I started playing this game and then the TV show came out, so now I'm part of the new wave. Even though I'm coming back to it on PC, more people are playing this game than I think, like, since launch. More people are on 76 right now than there ever has been, because they made a fucking TV show on Amazon. That's pretty cool. Let me stop myself from rambling. Maybe I'll do some more rambling in another video. But if you got any thoughts on that, really, if you have any tips, any tricks for camp building, I don't know what the kids are doing nowadays. All I know, the only trick that I know is putting something on a rug and using it to move it against the wall. I did that shit on Fallout 4 and it works here, but I see some camps that are so, like, elaborate. The meta since I've started playing this game with camp building has fucking changed. People are building shit that looks like it belongs in the world wholesale. I'll travel to some camps sometimes, and I'll think, oh, it spat me out at a random location, and then I realize, no, someone actually built that shit, and I would love to get to that level of creation. So you got any ideas, any tips or tricks, or just any thoughts on my builds in general? Leave a comment, and I'll probably respond to it if I can think of something that's worth saying. Alright, well, thank you for watching. I'll probably make more videos about Fallout 76. I don't know if I'm gonna just stick to camps or just talk about other shit in the game. I think that there's... I can be a very opinionated person about how Bethesda's handling this game. But I don't know, maybe more topics in the future. But if you like this one, I'm definitely going to make some more about camps. I might upload some like camp building. Maybe the tips and tricks I like. The very few that I actually know myself. Or, you know, just more reviews like this. Because this is fun. I'm going to destroy all this, but at least in a way it's archived. You know, one day I'll just remember to myself, oh, I remember that cranberry bog base that I had. It's a shame Bethesda wants me to spend like 10 fucking bucks just to keep it alive, and but whatever. I'm not gonna buy more camp slots. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.